If you're looking for a crazy watch dial, this one would be it. But there is one big flaw to this all. Welcome back to God Tier Watches. My name is Koda, and today we're talking about the WM142. This is the Moonphase watch, or at least that's what they call it, which I will mention what the issue is later in the video. As you see from this video that this watch is... That's right. So basically, WM watches, also previously known as Welly Merc, have kindly sent these watches over, and also another one that I have just previously reviewed was also sent over with it. So thank you for letting me review these pieces, just so I can give you guys more information about the watch itself, whether you want to buy it or not. But without a further ado, let's talk about the watches that we'll be dealing with today. Alright, this is the WM watch box that it comes with. It's like this cardboard box, the same one as what you saw in the previous video. If you haven't checked that out, be sure to check that out. It's a everyday dress watch that's like a birch texture there. With the watch, you get a tool. You got a watch link removal tool, which is good to see with these guys. A lot easier than just having that tool, the metal tool, because you need to use a hammer with those to take those links off, because it's a pin and collar system. You obviously get your manuals here as well, but you won't need these today either. And obviously you get the watch itself as well. But let's set all this aside and look at the watch. Alrighty, that is the watch, everyone. This is the Moonphase watch, the WM142. We're going to run through the specifications for this watch. So we have the case diameter coming in at 41.2 millimeters is what I measured using the calipers. We got a weight of 156 grams, so this guy is a hefty boy. You'll definitely feel that on your wrist. And it's also partially big because it has a big lug to lug as well, 48.6 millimeters, so it's quite long. So this is definitely towards the medium to larger size wrists, and I still got it anyway, well, sent out for free. But I'm just here to review it, and we'll see if it does work on someone who has a skinny wrist like me. But to get back on track, the lug width is also 20 millimeters, which is a bit bigger than your standard 18 or even the 19 that was on the previous one, referring to the WM207. And finally, the thickness, this is a puck. This is like a 12.9 millimeter case thickness. It says it's 12 on the website, but I measured 12.9. So yeah, this is definitely a hefty boy for sure. So we're gonna see how this would fit on my skinny wrist. But let's talk about the case finishing of this guy. Even though the dial here looks gorgeous, we're going to focus on the case for a little bit here. So as far as the case goes, mostly brushed finishing on the side there, and then a bit of polishing, high polishing on the edges of the lug and also around that bezel as well, and on the edges here. I think it adds a bit of sophistication because it's not 50-50 of polishing and brushing. There's a lot more brushed, so there is a polishing. It just looks very nice. Nice detail there. It's got sapphire crystal. It doesn't claim that it has any AR coating for this one. It doesn't really look like it to be. But yeah, as you can see, even from the side profile there, that case is quite the thickness. It's like a hockey puck for sure. Put that on the ice rink, man. But I'm happy to say that the finishing is quite nice for that price as well, all things considered. So I'm very pleased to say that. But I'd say in general for this watch to pull off, you need at least like 6 or like nearing the 7 inches of wrist size to get that on. But honestly, we're gonna have to see if this works. The crown here is also relatively easy to pull, which is nice. It's just a push-pull crown, hence the 50 meters of water resistance there as well. Also got a signed WM Watches logo there. And on the back, you get a beautiful case back there. Yeah, just gorgeous. Look at that thing. So this right here is the beautiful Hansa Movement 7200 there. This has an insane 72-hour power reserve, which is crazy. It is slightly thicker than the NH35, so that's something to note. And it has a higher vibration frequency as well. And you can also see the WM engraving on that disc wheel there. I'll do a really nice close-up there for you guys so you can see that etched on. But yeah, this movement, a very, very long power reserve. So yeah, good stuff. As far as the bracelet goes for this guy, it is good. It's good, but it's not amazing by any means. It doesn't like exceed any of my expectations. I think it's just met it. And here's why. This does come with a 5-link bracelet, which creates a nice bit of articulation, nice light play as well, having 2 polished in the middle right there and then 3 brushed vertically. Let's do a quick jangle test. Now this watch passes the jangle test, I reckon. It's not that bad. Again, it's not great either. I think it's just passable. It's not as bad as the first one that we reviewed, the WM207. So that is good to see that obviously if you pay for more, you do get a better quality bracelet. Now I do have a little bit of a complaint here. Because I have a 6 1/4 inch wrist, it's hard to find a watch that perfectly fits me without, unless it has micro adjusts or some sort of like adjustment to adjust to my wrist size. And so this only has full links, no adjustment at all. So it's just a butterfly clasp there. So you'll see that it is even on each end, and that's the only way for it to fit. Because if I add another one, it's too big. If I take this, now it's a bit too tight. So there's nothing in the middle for me to really enjoy this watch, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah. So we'd love to see a version where they do add like some sort of half link or like micro adjust onto the butterfly clasp, just to add a bit of, you know, better sizing. But the good thing is once you do clasp it up, it creates this nice seamless bracelet. So that's nice to see there. I mentioned this before, but these use the cotter pins. So these are like what you'd expect for the cheaper end watches, which is okay, but I wish they upgraded that system to, you know, maybe have like screws instead that you can screw off, or just have a better link system to remove. Now, one of the biggest reasons you'd be looking at this watch in the first place is definitely the crazy watch style that you got here. This one is the black one here, but it does come in a different color. It's a bluish color, which I like, but I think this one gives off a really nice, like realistic starry night look, which I really like. It is one heck of a dial for sure, very similar to that Christopher Ward Moonphase, but that one is a proper Moonphase, which we're going to talk about now. It looks quite flat from here, but once you put it at an angle, you'll notice that there's actually different levels here. So this bottom level is actually for the 2 moons to fit. Again, WM watches keeps their branding very minimal. So down on the 6 o'clock position, you see the WM logo and just it says automatic there. So very good, very minimal branding. So props to you for WM for keeping it nice and simple again. But the biggest letdown of this watch is for sure going to be the fact that this is not a functional Moonphase. So the thing about this watch is, so you notice these 2 moons, right? If you pull it to the first crown and you rotate it, it's almost as if these are just on a date wheel, and it is. It's just an overcomplicated way of displaying a date wheel. And so a proper Moonphase has 29.5 days rotation, which obviously this does not have. This has 31 days. So technically speaking, this is not a moon swatch. No. So I think to advertise it as a Moonphase is a bit misleading because it's not actually a functional one. So it kind of defeats the whole purpose, really. But if you don't mind the practicality and you just like the fact that there's 2 big moons on a watch, which is a heck of a watch to say the least, then by all means go for it. I'm not going to stop you. On the bright side though, I do like the dial overall. I think it's nice and elegant, very dressy for sure, with its nice long pencil hands on the hour and minute, and the seconds hand is just very simple to kind of, you know, balance out all the hecticness. And I like the counterbalance on the seconds hand. It almost looks like a 4-pointed star. And this watch here actually has a lot of lume throughout the entire watch. You got it all throughout the stars that you see, these speckles of stars, the 2 moons and the indices and the hour and minute, just not the seconds hand. So we're going to test that lume right now. So as you can see from the lume test here, it's not that bright, but I think it looks really cool when it is under the lume shot. It is definitely very unique to say the least. But I think it's good to see that there's lume on pretty much all throughout the surface of the watch, even the stars, the small stars throughout the inner date wheel, I guess you can call it. But yeah, I think it's better to have some lume than none, but you can see it's quite quickly exhausting itself out, and it's very quickly going to go very black and just back to no lume. I know this is a dressier piece, so it's something we have to kind of understand, but I think it would have been really cool to kind of keep like this space theme and make lume also like good to visibly see, you know, the 2 moons at night as well. I think that would, you know, make sense, but We'd love to see a bit more loom. Now you've all been waiting patiently for the best part of the video, and that is none other than the wrist shots. I think this watch is very, very big to say the least on my wrist. So this is definitely towards the larger size wrist like I mentioned earlier in the video. If you look at the aesthetic standpoint, it is very nice. The dial looks very, very nice. It's just a bit too big for me, unfortunately. But that bracelet, again, yeah, it's very hard to find it fitting for me, especially it's just a weird sizing I have. I need to take out an odd amount of bracelet on each side. Which isn't the best way to obviously wear a watch, because otherwise it won't be perfectly smack bang in the middle of your wrist. So that's a bit annoying. There's not really any micro adjust for this one, which is a big letdown. But the bracelet is quite nice. Like I said, it's on par. Doesn't exceed it, doesn't disappoint me either. The loom is definitely one thing I really would like to see them improve on. But as you see from the wrist shots here, yeah, just looks very nice. I just wish it was also a functional Moonphase, because that's the main part about a watch. If you're mentioning that it's going to be a Moonphase, you'd hope for it to be a functional Moonphase, which is also a reason why it is so bloody cheap compared to brands that are very affordable with their Moonphase watches, such as like Christopher Ward. So maybe that is something that they do need to mention more clearly, because I didn't know before reviewing this watch, but I'm glad I did review this piece. But what do you guys think of this watch? Would you still get it even if it wasn't a functional Moonphase and still like the aesthetics? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm keen to hear your thoughts. I filmed this segment a bit later than the actual review of the watch that I did just before and the wrist shots. So we're in the middle of a cycle, as you can see from the outside. So nothing too crazy, just a lot of heavy rainfall. But yeah, you can enjoy this beautiful view while I'm talking at the back. But I put some posters up that I designed myself on Photoshop, which is nice. But yeah, finally feeling like a new room. For the people who have been watching for a while now, you might have recognized that this is a new place now. So I moved back at home with my family. So I came back here, just did a little room renovation. Still finishing up final touches. Got to get rid of this nasty blue bed sheets that I have at the moment. But yeah. Hopefully it'll be done soon. But I hope your day will be better than what mine is currently going through with the cycle. Hopefully it clears up in a bit, but I hope everyone stays safe in Cyclone Alfred over in the Gold Coast and Brisbane side. But I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you guys next time on God Tier Watches. Bye for now.